dry out there. Yeah. Give me KMO7.
The shift begins. You're going to be operating a light rail vehicle on the San Francisco Municipal Railway for the next 8 hours. To do your job well, you have to remember a lot of rules and procedures. To run a complex transport system like the MUNI Metro smoothly and safely, these rules and procedures are essential. When you're operating an LRV, you're responsible for hundreds of people. You're responsible for getting them to their destinations on time. But your primary responsibility is their safety, because an emergency could occur at any time. If there was a fire on your train, doing your job well could be a matter of life and death. What you would do in case of fire is not something you often think about during the day-to-day routine. But if one day there is an emergency, you, the operator, will have to follow certain rules and procedures exactly, calmly, and quickly. After watching the 4 parts of this videotape, you will be able to explain what to do if there is a fire on your train while in a subway, what to do if you have to evacuate passengers, what to do if you are operating an LRV that is near the scene of an emergency, what kind of emergency equipment is available and where it is located.
There. Let's get the hell out of here!
Use the intercom! Use the intercom!
Hey, there's a fire in here. There's smoke in the back. Do something!
Stay calm and get everybody away from the fire.
Follow me, huh? Get out of my way! Get out!
This is run 75 on the M. I have car 1252. My ID number is 1438. I'm at locator marker 608 inbound. There's a fire reported in the rear of the second car.
Okay, evacuate passengers to Church Street Station. The fire department is on the way. The fans will be on and fresh air will be blowing from Church Street Station.
Attention, please.
Due to a problem, we will be evacuating this train. Remain calm. Once the door is open, get out and walk towards the front of the train.
Proceed past the front of the train along the walkway areas to the next station.
Help each other.
Let's review the procedures just followed by the operator after being notified of the emergency. First, stop the train at a place where passengers can get off safely. Set the controller to full service brake and depress the emergency stop button. Second, notify Control Center using the priority call button. Give the run, line, operator ID number, and car number. Give your location and direction. State the nature of the emergency. You will be instructed how to proceed. While on the radio with Control Center, lower the pantograph. Hold the switch in the down position until you are sure all pantographs are lowered and locked. Fourth, notify passengers of the evacuation. Give them direct commands in a firm voice. People will be frightened, and the way you speak is very important in an emergency. Do not use words like fire or danger that may cause alarm. Tell passengers to walk to the doors. Tell them which direction to walk according to the instructions given to you by Control Center. There are sets of emergency ventilation fans in the subway system. Control Center will use these fans to control smoke in the subway. If your train were stopped here with a fire, the fans behind the train would be set to exhaust to pull the smoke away. The fans ahead of the train would be set to supply to bring fresh air toward the train. If for some reason no radio contact with Control Center were possible during the emergency, the fans would not be on. Also, there are no fans in the Twin Peaks and Sunset tunnels. However, the natural movement of air would tend to send the smoke in one direction. You should direct passengers the other way, into the fresh air. Instruct passengers to help each other during an evacuation. The next step before evacuation is to open doors on the side of the train where it is safest to get out. Finally, set the controls as you would when leaving a train unattended. Set the reverser key to neutral. Set the transfer key to standby. If you were operating on the surface and a fire were reported, always stop before entering a tunnel or subway. Passenger stops or stations are the safest places for evacuation.
Attention, please. Due to a problem, we will be evacuating this train. Remain calm, and once the doors open, get out and walk towards the front of the train. Proceed past the front of the train along the walkway area to the next station. Help each other.
You, make sure everyone keeps moving straight ahead towards the front of the train. Have them move to the next station. You, go and make sure people are getting off the rear car. Be sure and keep them away from the smoke.
I'll do what I can.
You two, you and you, help this man. Ask him to tell you what to do. Get on either side and hold him under each arm and leg, then lift. The chair must stay on the train. Check. The lead car is clear of passengers.
Check the rear car and make sure it's clear of passengers.
Hey, you okay?
I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do.
Settle down, huh? You'll be all right. Just keep going down towards the front of the car. Keep going into the next station. All clear, Central. All the passengers are moving to Church Street Station. Check. There's too much smoke for me to get to the fire with the extinguisher, so I'll stand by here. Check.
Check. 75M. Fire department is responding. Have you lowered your paragraph?
Let's review the evacuation procedures just followed by the operator. First, repeat the evacuation instructions so that everyone stays calm and is aware of the direction in which to evacuate. Second, instruct responsible passengers to assist in overseeing the evacuation. Third, direct able passengers to carry people in wheelchairs. Wheelchairs must not be used on catwalks or trackways. Fourth, check all cars to make sure everyone has been evacuated. Fifth, if someone panics in an emergency, quiet them down and get them away from danger. Be firm and direct. Finally, if it is safe to do so, stand by the radio in your car and stay in contact with Control Center for further instructions. If you were operating an LRV near the scene of an emergency on another train, Control Center would stop you.
Attention all units. Code 33 is in effect. All trains between West Portal and Castro Station stop at the next station and stand by.
Attention please, due to a problem ahead, there will be a slight delay. We're asking you to remain on the train. We'll keep you informed when you're ready. Thank you.
If Control Center had not stopped you and you were aware of an emergency ahead, wait at a station or passenger stop. Do not enter an affected area. Notify Control Center of your location. Never enter a subway or tunnel unless authorized, and watch out for people being evacuated on the tracks.
Attention, car 1252. Attention, car 1252. Proceed to Castro Station and unload passengers. We may need you for assistance.
Check Central at 1252, proceeding to Castro Station. Offload my passengers at that point and stand by. Check. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be proceeding to Castro Station. At that point, we're asking you to exit the train, enter the station, and exit the station at the surface. There will be surface transportation waiting for you. Please exit the train at that point. Thank you.
After checking to see that all passengers are off your train, remain in the cab and monitor the radio. Wait for instructions from Control Center or the supervisor. It is important to know the types and location of emergency equipment available in the metro system. There are fire extinguishers on each train that should be used to put out a small fire after all passengers are evacuated. At the blue lights in the subway and Twin Peaks Tunnel, you will find an emergency telephone. Each telephone can be identified by Control Center to determine your location. In an emergency, if the radio in your train is not operating, the telephone should be used to contact Control Center. There are emergency exits and crossover doors at yellow lights in the subway. They should be used to evacuate passengers if they are the safest exit. Emergency personnel may also use these exits to reach the scene of an emergency. In each station, there is an emergency equipment box, which may be used in an emergency. You can find emergency equipment diagrams to study in the operator's training manual. Here is a summary of the 4 sections of this videotape. Stop the train where passengers can get off safely. Set the T-stick to full service brake and push the emergency stop button down. Notify Control Center. Identify yourself, give your location, and state the nature of the emergency. Lower the pantograph. Be sure all pans are locked down. Notify passengers of the problem and give them clear, firm, direct evacuation instructions. Open the doors. The final step, after the doors are open, is to set controls to neutral standby. Repeat the evacuation instructions to passengers so that everyone knows which direction to walk. Instruct passengers who appear relaxed and responsible to help you during the evacuation. Direct able passengers to carry the people in wheelchairs. Leave the wheelchair behind. Make sure all cars are clear of passengers. If a passenger panics, reassure them and get them away from danger. Finally, remain in the cab if it is safe and monitor the radio for further instructions. Control Center will notify you of an emergency event. Stay at or near a station if you become aware of an emergency. Do not enter a tunnel or subway unless authorized. Notify your passengers of the delay and stand by. Control Center or the on-scene supervisor may ask for assistance or move you to a station to evacuate your passengers. Familiarize yourself with the types and location of emergency equipment. There are fire extinguishers on the train to be used after evacuation. You can use the emergency telephones located at the blue lights to contact Control Center if your radio is inoperable. Emergency exits may be used if they are the safest means of evacuation. There are boxes in stations containing emergency equipment. If there is a train fire and you are the operator, be calm, be direct, take charge, and follow the procedures you have just seen. These procedures are designed for your safety and for the safety of the people who depend on you.